Um, and my parents were young. My parents were at this time were younger than I am right now. Um, and I'm not the one to share. This is part of my problem. I'm not one to share about things that I'm dealing with. Hell, sometime at that age, I barely knew how to express the things that I was dealing with. So this was a very, very tough time and a tough adjustment for me. If it had just been the school alone, that would have been a tough adjustment. Had it just been my grandfather dealing with that, that would have been tough for me to deal with. Had it just been my big brother uh, going to prison for a long time, that would have been tough to deal with. If it had been just my acquaintance being murdered, that would have been tough to deal with. But with all of these things going on at the same time, and I'm alone. Uh, I'm alone, completely alone, because I don't have any friends where I live because the school is so far away. It's not like I can hang out with my friends after school. I've got to go home, right? Because you run a metro system and things like that. It's not like I can hang out with my friends on the weekend because on the weekends we're going back and forth to my grandparents' house because we're dealing with my grandfather passing away. I'm alone. I can't say that I don't have anybody to talk to, but I don't know how or who to talk to. It's tough to talk to my father. He's got a lot of things on his plate. And if he knew, if my parents knew what I was going through, they obviously would have been there for me. But they had no idea because once again, I didn't know how to express it. I didn't even know what I was feeling. I had no idea what anxiety and depression truly, truly was. This is the mid 90s. This wasn't a conversation that is brought up like it is today. It is just, sometimes you feel the blues. Well, this was feeling the blues every single day. And it's tough when you're dealing with that because you don't know how to express it to your loved ones. You don't even really know how to express it within yourself. And so, like I said, it was a tough time, and I was not handling it well. I was sort of rebelling because I knew after the first week of going to that school, something had to give. I knew that I wasn't going to be able to conform to what that school needed me to be a student. And it's not the academics. I'm smart enough to be in that school. I'm smart enough to get good grades. That was never an issue. It was the social element. And as much as I talk about how I'm an introvert extrovert. Even if I don't talk to people, I need to be around people. And I also need to be around the opposite sex. Like I need women in my life. Like I did not realize that up until that point. But at 16 years old, I knew I needed women in my life, and there were no women. There were no young girls that I could talk to or things of that nature. There was no places I could go. You could go to the mall, but you're not going to walk up to a group of people and be like, "Hey, do you want to be my friend?" And all of the friends at that private school that I went to, they all lived in different parts of the DMV. And it's not really easy to get to. Yes, there's a metro kind of connecting everything, but the metro is like a metro stop. And then they might not live close to a metro stop, right? So I was completely alone. And after the first week of going to that school, I told my dad, I was like, I don't want to go to this school, Dad. This isn't going to work for me. And he said, that's cool with me. Just talk to your mom and, tell her what you want to do. And we'll get you in local public school. Because I really wanted to just go to a local public school. I just wanted to be around. I can start new again, right? Like I can make friends. That's not really that big of a deal with me. But I just wanted to wear my own clothes, be my own spirit, and be around some women, you know? And my mom was like, no, you're going to stay in that school. It's an academic opportunity of which most people do not get. First of all, it's a private school, so you have to be accepted in academically, right? And so she was just like, no, this is going to open doors for you. You're going to stay in the school. Me and my mom have a very special relationship. There was a time when I was younger where I used to go to my mom and talk to her about everything. As I got a little older, it became tougher to talk to my mom about certain things because you're getting older. You're a teenage boy. You don't want to talk to your mom about certain stuff. And I didn't really talk to my dad about certain stuff. So I just pretty much held things inside. But me and my mom always had a really close relationship. So when she said no, that really, really hurt me. And I didn't speak to her for a long time. I did not speak to her for a very long time, because at that time I couldn't express to my mother and father why it really was that I wanted to leave the school. I said I want to wear my own clothes and girls, but it was more of I felt constricted in my own self-expression, and I needed that outlet in order to just be able to take a breath. I can understand that now, looking back at 16-year-old self, now that I'm 43 years old. But it was a very, very tough thing for a 16-year-old in the mid 90s to explain to his parents, who are extremely educated, but once again, we don't really understand about mental health. Like I couldn't tell them that the anxiety and depression was weighing on me. They that wasn't things that I even knew about at that time, and wasn't things that was well versed in society. So I rebelled, and I rebelled in only way that Bruce could rebel. I basically didn't go to school, because remember, I'm on my own and my parents didn't know. For some strange reason, the school didn't call and tell them. I would make appearances, I would just be late, right? And I literally tried to flunk out of school. It took me a long time to pull my GPA back up from just a quarter, not even a full semester, just a quarter report card. It was horrible. I figured if I can't play basketball and I flunk out of school, they got no choice but to send me to the local public school. The reason why I will not name the school is because even though my grades were bad, consistent coaches came to me and said, "Your grades are bad. You can't try out for the team." I said, "Okay, not a problem." If you like that clip, go ahead and hit that like button. Don't forget to subscribe to catch up on all of our latest content. Don't forget to hit the notification button when you do subscribe, so you can get updated every time we release content. We release content every day, whether it's an actual show or clips from the shows. So go ahead and subscribe, like, comment. Also, don't forget our Patreon page, where you can find our Talking Straight-ish and After Hours Uncensored episodes. That's patreon.com/unsolicited perspectives. But once again, thank you again for listening to Unsolicited Perspectives. I'm your host, Bruce Anthony, and I'm going to catch you next time. I'll holla.